think we might have a new leader. Here comes Mike Novinger, the Dominator Deer. Holy smokes. Flags, turn it loose, gotta beat 3:46.28. Ryan Howe, the big temptation. Nice hook for Wyatt Robbins. Including 5.56. You're good. Comes Corey Roberts. Black on track. Peterbilt. Corey Roberts with a nice hook.
Gentleman right there, he's wanting to throw some free hats out. So the crowd, I need you to get loud over there. He's getting ready to throw some free hats out. Over on that far side, you better get loud.
Wow, Buckner, Missouri, put your hands together. Jimmy Brackett on a rocket ship ride to Hillbilly Express. Yawkey moving on. And yes, she is moving on into the lead right there. Jamie Yawkey going to take over the top spot. More bites than he was expecting. Here comes Chad Musial. KCK. Straightforward. Nice hook for
Hey, everybody, welcome to Outlawed Live. Every Tuesday night, Outlawed Live with Ron Stone. And usually Jason Schultz will be on here with me. He's not going to be here tonight. He is vacationing down in the Keys, down in the Florida Keys. I'm absolutely jelly right now of Jason being down there in paradise. But we'll move along here and recap the weekend of pulling in Buckner, Missouri, and Unionville, Missouri. Unionville was Friday night, the Putnam County Fair, and Buckner was Saturday night. Awesome shows, both venues, 2 tracks at both shows. Showed a little highlight reel to open the show for those shows there. Showed some winners and some rough rides, some rough, unfortunate passes for some pullers there at both events. But we want to talk points tonight. We're going into the weekend. Bedford, Iowa is Saturday. The State Line Showdown. We'll be talking to Brent Roberts here a little bit later on. We're also going to bring on Alan Andrews, Super Farm champ. The Super Farm points came to a close at the Nebraska State Fair a couple of weeks back. But we want to get Alan Andrews on here. That's 2 points titles for him in a row. 2022 and 23. So we'll have him on as well. We'll talk about Bedford coming up. Then we'll talk about Spencer, the Clay County Fair in Iowa, in Spencer, Iowa. 2 sessions on Sunday. Most of the points races will be final at Spencer, with the exception of the super modified 2-wheel drive, the limited pro diesel pickups, and the modified tractors, the 7,400-pound modified tractors. Those 3 classes will go on to Lufkin, Texas. and those points will be determined down there in Lufkin and Dragon and pulling in the Pines. We also will have Pro Stock forward eye pickups down in Lufkin, but that will not be a points hook. So if you have any questions, we definitely want to hear them. If you have any comments, we want to hear them. If you were at any of the shows over the weekend, if you were at Unionville or Buckner, let me know. I'll put your comments up on the screen. We also want to announce some winners, the banner winners of the Outlaw Superfan contest sponsored by Case IH. The winners from the weekend, as far as the two banners, the autographed banners and the autographed hat we'll give away once a week. We didn't get to that last week, so I will be bringing the winner, announcing the winner from last week for the hat. Of course, we didn't have a pull week before last, but we did give away a hat anyway. So we'll give away 2 hats tonight and 2 banners. So we'll do that as well. If you were at Buckner, if you were at Unionville, send us a message here. Let us know what you thought of the shows there. Can't believe it's getting towards the end of the season here. You know, we had 56 total sessions of pulling scheduled for the season. Now we're down to 5 sessions total. Crazy. The summer has just flown by. Unbelievable. But after this coming weekend, we have a little break before we go to Lufkin, Texas. If you haven't been to that pool, that's an awesome event down there. If you live down there, even if you're looking for something to do in October, wherever you live, a great event, veteran-themed event, and 100% of the money raised there goes to veteran charities. So, hey, Tim, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in tonight. I know we usually stream to Jason's page. For some reason, his stage would not link up tonight. Jason's personal Facebook page. So if you usually come in and watch the show via Jason's page, it's not being broadcast through his page tonight. Could not get it to link up. Russell Dostal, super fan. Russell S. Dostal from Pierce, Nebraska. What's up, Russ? Russ, are you going to any of the pulls this weekend? In Bedford or Spencer? And I want to talk about points. I had some graphics made up. Didn't get them saved, but let's talk about points a little bit here. Some points of note to look at going into Spencer. Light super stocks do not pull in Bedford. It's light super stock ag. Does not pull in Bedford. But this is one to watch because the Eleanor tractor is number 1. It hasn't been like that all season. Jeremy Paulson has had a pretty good handle on the lead most of the season, but going into the last hook, he finds himself down in the number 3 spot, 14 points out of the top spot. Eleanor, of course, has won it several times. I think Mark has won it 5 times. 5 straight championships, I think it is. 4 or 5 straight championships. And one of those was with the weapon. The rest was with Eleanor. He's in the lead by 3.5 points over Corey Schluter and the barn burner, who's having a good run this year. So really, it comes down to those two. Jeremy Paulson technically is not out of it. But those 3, Eleanor is number 1 at 430 points. Corey Schluter in the barn burner, second at 426.5, so 3.5 points behind. Then Jeremy Paulson, the Hawkeye hooker, at 416, 14 points out of the top spot. So light super stock ag, one to watch going into Sunday at Spencer. Pro stock, this is one where Cody Yark really extended his lead this weekend. Steve Bailey went out of bounds Friday night in Unionville. and really separated those two tractors. Steve Bailey was in the lead at one time during the season. So, yeah, he's 12 points out of the lead. Cody Yark would have to mess up pretty bad to lose that points race there. Steve Bailey in second at 431 points. Greg Jager having a great season. He's in third at 411 points. Let's see. Modified four-wheel drive. The top spot, Lane Thornton pretty much has it wrapped up. He is 22 points ahead of second place. And then at second place, this real battle is between Joe Claypool, defending points champion with Risky Business, and Ted Skelton in The Rock. Those two are tied at 425 points in second. And then back and forth is Tim Skelton and The Bone. So the real battle in that modified four-wheel drive class is for that second place spot between Claypool and Skelton. Pro Stock 4x4, bipolar. Wow, he has a huge lead. That truck has just been absolutely dominant all season. Brett Stamps and the Troublemaker in second. Philip Chrysler and the Show Me Chevy in third. Miles Jump's having a great year this year in fourth. Nathan Breheim in fifth with Breaking Loose. He's having a great year as well. Limited Pro Stock. Here's one that where George Byer has come out and been all but dominant in this class as well. In Limited Pro Stock, 486 points to second place at 465. And Gary Barrett in second. Jamie Yankee moved up a position over the weekend. She moved into third with Moving On with a win Saturday night in Buckner. Lane Paulson, Life in the Fast Lane, having some problems there at Buckner, going out of bounds. Brent Paddock, Digging Deep Deer in fifth in Limited Pro Stock. So looking down the road, though, looking down those other three classes, the modified to two-wheel drives, the Limited Pro Stock diesel pickups are going to Lufkin. Good battle between first and second in that class. Donald Nelson moved into the lead over the weekend by 1 point over defending champs Sweet Pain. 1 point lead for Donald Nelson in the Twisted Whip. Two-wheel drive, another good battle going on there. Ray Miller, another bad decision. Tied up with fellow Texan Donald Nelson at 453 points. That'll be fun to watch that going down the stretch. They'll be pulling one hook this weekend in Spencer, Iowa, and then we'll see them battle it out 2 nights in a row down in Lufkin, Texas in October. So I see our guests are coming on here. Let's go ahead and get Brent Roberts. I know he's working. You're going to be at the track, dude. What's going on? You look like you're in your
room. I was. We didn't get our lights today like we were supposed to, so we are hoping to have those tomorrow night. So yeah, we're not. We put working at the track off till tomorrow night. So we're I'm working on other stuff. I got to run out and check on some stuff on the trucks and actually making a trip to Jerseyville tomorrow to do some work and get things done and pick up a truck to bring back. So that we've got all 5 that we've had there at Bedford. So
okay. So is there going to be a different semi there at Bedford we haven't seen yet?
No, I don't think so. No, I was trying to get. I wanted to get some guys out of up in the kind of the northeast of here to come down, but they all have just been. Of course, they went to Onaway, and then they turned around and went to Casson last weekend. For the Big Iron Classic and all that, and so they're all kind of getting burnt out on traveling, I think, and so I'm not. It's pretty tough, and honestly, like one guy I talked to, he said, "Man, it's 9 hours one way," and maybe next year, we'll see how it comes out. But, maybe if for some crazy reason we're in Spencer next year. Where we could get that second hook, maybe I might be able to pull some of them guys from up there, down this way. I offered added money and stuff, but it's just kind of one of them deals. it's a long ways.
So you say 5 trucks? Are we going to see both of Dar's trucks in there? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yeah, and believe it or not, we might actually be Dar there.
What's that?
So that's the plan anyway. He's supposed to be coming. So
Who did you say? You kind of broke up a little bit.
I said we might actually see Dar himself there.
Oh,
Rich
okay, gotcha.
Himself is supposed to be there. So
okay, good deal.
But now I was going to go out there and do some work to mine, and so we going to go out there and do some work to mine, and so we are going to do that, and then he's like, well, why don't you just bring this other truck back with you? That way I don't have to pull trailer and all that stuff. And so now they're all going to end up at my place, I'm guessing. So I don't know. I guess if I can find any more hooks this year, I've got 3 trucks we can go play with. I guess.
There you go. Well, yours runs pretty good when your brother's driving it. Just saying,
I know.
Win on Saturday, right?
I know. I was watching from Lincoln, Nebraska. We were actually walking into a Morgan Wallen concert, and with my wife, and we was getting ready to walk in, and we were standing out there watching them. Of course, they were first class, so we were actually standing outside the arena, watching it all go down, and yeah, we both kind of looked at each other like, "Holy crap, he just won!" And so everybody was pretty excited about that. Those other guys, as you guys well know, run really hard, and they, I mean, I was glad we did that good, and glad we got around them, but that's kind of doing something, because they come out swinging this year, and I was a little bit behind the 8 ball with mine, obviously, just kind of getting it together this spring and lack of the right parts and things like that. So I mean, we've been working on it, off and on, but I know they're going to keep working on theirs too. So they're not gonna go easy on me by any means. But anyway,
that class is going to grow. It's going to grow, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I'm real excited. I mean, as bad as I hate to see the season come to an end, I'm kind of excited more for between now and the banquet, and to go to the banquet and maybe talk to. I'm hoping there's some guys there that will be there that maybe are interested too, that we can do a little campaign in that way, and maybe get some builds in progress this winter for next season. And I know there's a lot of them that have mentioned it. So yeah, we're going to do whatever we can to help those guys out and try to get more trucks on the track. We'd sure like to have twice as many as we got now. But
awesome. So of course the pressing the thing at hand here is your poll coming up Friday or Saturday in Bedford, Iowa, the state line showdown. Give us some history on this poll. How long has this been going on?
This is I think the 4th year that we've done it there at Bedford, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we actually had a poll years prior to that. We did it 2 or 3 years prior, and then we kind of had a break there. Everybody got that was kind of in that. Everybody was, getting married, having kids, and busy, and we're still busy. We're not any less busy than we were, but we just, I don't know. But anyway, we and since we've started having it this second go around, we've co-sanctioned and done some things with the Northwest Group and this and that, and then we've as I personally progressed, and we went from a 2.6 diesel pickup to a Pro Farm tractor to a 4.1, and a semi. I mean, I got to know a lot more pullers and become friends with a lot more people, and so in doing that, it's like, well, you want all your buddies to come and pull there, and so we ended up that let us get some contacts to get some bigger stuff, 4.1s and pro stock tractors, and really good friends with Yaricks, Dave Yarick and Cody and those guys. They were instrumental in getting pro stock tractors to come to Bedford. We actually have had, about since we started, we've had 8 to 10 outlaw 5-inch pros, just non-sanctioned, just come, of course it's after their points race and so it all kind of worked out. And, Parker's even from Ohio have been there almost every year, I think, Ohio. But I talked to Jeff Parker the other day, and he says, oh, well, we can make it. We're coming to Bedford. We love coming to Bedford. And I know a lot of pullers that pull there, 3.0 diesel pickup guys. They love coming to Bedford, and they've always told me that. And I've got some 540 light pro guys that are definitely not happy with me. this year. They've been there in the past, and they really like Bedford, and the track's really good, you know, and it's nothing necessarily to do with me or any of us necessarily, but it's good dirt. It's gumbo, and it's pretty tough. I mean, it's tough, and it holds together, and usually we can kind of manage it, but it does take horsepower. And
yeah, that it kind of has a reputation there. I know I've announced that pull 3 years in a row, I think, for you.
Yep.
And this will be my 4th year, of course.
Yeah.
Now it's an outlaw pull, but
yeah, I think we've had you pretty well announce it since we started it up this second go around. But
okay.
But anyway, but now you kind of know what it is. But no, this year we just, you know, we can get the iron there. We can get all kinds of good iron. We've had, you know, like I say, we can get 8 or 10 pros. We can get 24 ones. We can get, you know, 15 or 20 85s and so on with, you know, just every class, you know, pro stock pickups. We can get all kinds, but I want to get more people in the seats. I want to get more people in the stands, and that's kind of why we wanted to go with a bigger organization, bring more show to the people, and try to just really put on a good show there. And you know, obviously Outlaws, you know, does a great job with that. I mean, you know, and you know, we're doing the big screen, we're doing the live stream, and we kind of jumped off the deep end and did the full meal deal, the big package. But that's kind of anybody that knows how we operate, that's kind of how we do it, or try to anyway, you know. So
you guys do a great job organizing stuff there, and I think it'd be a good partnership here. You have 9 classes, right? 9 classes.
Yeah. Yep. This year we've got 9.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that'll be a good number. I think we're going to start at 6 o'clock. You know, and we will start at 6 o'clock. As far as I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't be able to, but we're gonna start at 6 o'clock, and we are. I mean, I really see, you know, Unionville. I think they had like 7 classes, I think, and obviously the numbers are gonna change a little bit, but you know, from class to class because they had different classes. But I think they were probably done by. They started at 6:30, I think they said, and they were probably done by 9:45 or 10 maybe, or something like that maybe.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was done. And
I had a buddy that was there, and I was talking to him this morning, and that's kind of what he was telling me. So it was more or less a 3-hour show, and we're kind of shooting for that 4 to 4.5 tops. So I'm hoping we're done by 10 or 10:30, and everybody can kind of, you know, as pullers, it's kind of nice to get done and be able to hang out and visit and do that thing, or, you know, visit with fans or whatever. If the fans want to make their way around afterwards, you know, they're more than welcome to come out into the pits and say hi and do whatever. So, you know, we'd like to have that time after.
We had a meeting this morning, like we do on Tuesday mornings, and we were discussing, you know, about how long the event would be. And Kurt seemed to think we'd be done in pretty good time. And I said, I don't know if you've never been to this pull. It kind of draws some pullers out, you know, that don't always come out, you know, to all the events. You know,
yeah, and it will. I mean, yeah, I think it will. I've made some phone calls, and I've got a few more phone calls to make to some pullers that don't traditionally pull with Outlaw, that might pull with Pro Pulling League and some of those other organizations that I've, you know, been friends with over the years, and have come and helped and come and, you know, supported the pull in years past, and that also like to pull at Bedford, you know. And so I've talked to a few. I talked to one this afternoon, 4-1 guy, and they're going to Cape Girardeau, and as long as they've got tractors left to pull, they're planning on coming, you know, going to Cape Friday night, and they're planning on coming to Bedford Saturday night. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping to draw a few of those other guys. I like to see some of them guys cross over. I drug a few to Wisner with me last year, the 4-1s and stuff. And so I'm hoping to get some of them guys, you know, to cross over, and it's kind of fun to mix and match a little bit and see some different stuff. But we may have a few more, but
classes like your Pro Street diesel pickups, you know, that we don't normally, you know, host that class that often, you know, that you guys always have a pretty good showing of those trucks up there, as well as
that's kind of one of my old that's my old stomping grounds, is that Pro Street diesel class, that 2.6 class. We kind of, when that was really ramping up, I was in it, and, you know, Lane Aldrich, Marcus, you know, all those guys were in it, and those guys are still in it, and they'll obviously be there. You know, Barkus has got 2 trucks himself, and then all my 2.6 buddies should be there. And actually, there's a pull, an MSTPA hook in Holden, Missouri. We talked about this last night on Beer Money, but we actually kind of are going to work it. We're going to hook the 2.6 trucks early at Bedford, because we've got some MSTPA guys that are wanting to come to Bedford, friends of mine that are wanting to come and pull with us, and then they're going to take off and go to Holden, Missouri, and pull later in the night. So it's about 2.5 hours to Holden, so they can make it work, and that'll get them kind of more back down home where they're from anyway. Go. And so we're been kind of working together with promoters. There's about 4 hooks in Missouri that night, which Bedford's, I know, in Iowa, but it's basically in Missouri. Sure. And so the good thing is they're all spread out. One's clear over Owensville, one's clear down to Lebanon, and then Holden's in the middle of the state. And so, I don't think, if spectator-wise, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And really puller-wise, it's not really going to be too bad either. But other than that, we're real excited, and we're excited to bring the Outlaws on, and we're looking forward to a good show.
Show starts at 6. What time the gates open?
The gates open at 4. That's what we put in. That's for the spectators. That's really kind of that's kind of what we're thinking. Pullers are more than welcome. We'll have. Sorry about that. My phone is ringing. So I can't get my speaker to work on my laptop, and so I'm having to use my phone. I don't know why. I've never used this laptop on this platform, but I don't know why my speaker. I went through all the settings and I can't figure it out. So anyway,
what's your gate prices? And
we're cheap. No, we're $20 to get in, and 12 and under are free. And honestly, that is probably, from what I've heard from other places, and some of the places I've been this summer, that is probably pretty reasonable. But we're trying to keep the gate prices down to get. We want people to come. We want people to see what it's like, and and I'm sure eventually we're going to have to. We're probably going to have to go up a little bit if we're going to have this caliber of an event. But we're trying to get. We're going to do that $20 and 12 and under free again this year. Try to get some people to come and fill them stands up and see what we got to offer. And so we're kind of doing that. We really go ahead.
You have a covered grandstand there too, as well, right?
We do. Yeah, the grandstand is covered. It's a pretty good sized covered grandstand. I don't know. I'm guessing we could probably. You've been there, but I'm guessing we can get 500-700 people underneath that cover, probably. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. It seemed like maybe more. I'm not sure.
Maybe more. It would be. You'd get quite a few in there. So, and then this year the Taylor County Fair Board. Because this is the Taylor County Fairgrounds, and the Taylor County Fair Board actually purchased a really nice set of aluminum bleachers. They're actually the portable ones, but they're a good size. It's $100,000 set of bleachers.
Oh wow!
And so so those are really nice. We're going to have use of those, and then we're going to go ahead and there's set we always get every year that we rent, and we're actually going to have a nice set on the pit side, kind of down towards the 300 mark too. So we'll have more seating this year, better quality seating this year. Besides the grandstand is really good, but there's only so much of that. And so I know some people like to sit on the other side. And so we're going to have that this year. So, and we're planning on making some improvements to some lights, which is what we're supposed to be tonight. And our lights didn't come today, so hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. So we're gonna do that. And that's kind of what we're doing with the proceeds, for now is, kind of trying to get the facility, kind of up where we want it and stuff. And then if we get that kind of some of that stuff done, we'll I don't know, we'll look for a local organization or something to do worthwhile with it. That's kind of what we're getting at right now. So trying to get, and it's nice because every improvement we make, they have the fair there, they have ranch rodeos and stuff there. There's a rodeo arena right behind there in the kind of in the pits area and stuff. And just, everybody can kind of benefit from it in the community. So that's kind of what we're trying to do, is keep those things. If you don't, and that's one reason I started this pull. It was such a good venue. It's set up perfect. The way it flows good with the puller traffic. You scale on one side, you stage, you pull, you drive off the other way. It's a circle track set up, and gosh, it just works super good. It's not congested or, there's plenty of room, plenty of width. in the pits. Like if you need to get around some people, you can. You know, I mean, it's a great venue, and so we're just trying to kind of keep it. You know, if you don't use those venues, they go downhill, and so we're just trying to do that and keep it going. But I know the track has always been a favorite, always been a Polar favorite.
I was going to say, I was going to encourage fans to get there early so they can walk the pits and get their seats, but also encourage the pullers to get there early to walk that track. Yeah. And might be some gear changing going on there.
There could be. It's hard to say. It'll be interesting a little bit. We're gonna have both Sabaka sleds. So we'll actually have the Red Rock sled and the Rock sled. Gary Sabaka loves coming there. He's always so excited. He was so excited when we started to do, decided to do a pull there. You know, he loves it. But anyway, he'll have both his sleds there. So that other sled, that Red Rock sled, we don't pull as much as the Outlaws. So that'll be, and obviously it'll probably, I can't say what classes will be on it for sure, but I mean, we'll probably have the pro stock tractors on the big sled, obviously, and the semis on the big sled and that. And we kind of went to Diagonal, Iowa, to his hometown deal there over Labor Day, and they ran some 5-inch pro stock tractors, good 5-inch pros. I mean, Porters were there, Parkers were there, Carl Karstens, of course, Doug Sabaka, they all ran, and I pulled up there with that gray semi of that 359. I was the only one that was left running after the night before but anyway, so I pulled up there with it, and I asked him, I said, "You going to change the sled?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "You're not?" And he's like, "No, I'm leaving it." I'm like, "You're kidding." He's like, "No." He said, "You're going to have to hook on and pull what they pulled." And so I hooked on to him, and we took him for a ride. I mean, we were out there a ways, but anyway, so it's always fun, and he always does us a good job, and we're glad to have him.
Yeah, so good old boy, loves pulling. But Brent, we'll let you go, buddy. Gates open at 4. Show starts at 6. 2 tracks, 9 classes. Great track, great pits. Expecting great weather. Should be a great night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the best part about doing it in September. I know we're winding down. We're getting close to harvest. Some people are harvesting.
Right.
I think Yarrick's and them yahoos down there are about done. But anyway, couple more things I want to mention. Puller's Meal. Sure. We're doing the Puller's Meal again this year. So Pullers, go sign up. See Lori. Get that stuff done. As soon as you get that done, about 4 o'clock usually we'll go over to the Red Barn and have our Puller's Meal, and it's good. You won't want to miss it. It's like smoked brisket and pulled pork and cheesy potato. I mean, all homemade sides and stuff. So I definitely want the pullers to get in on that. So
that's at 4 o'clock.
Make sure they know that. So
thank you for that. We'll spread the word on that as well. So
Brent,
appreciate it, buddy. Hope you get those lights in tomorrow and get that stuff all done. And
we'll see you. Yeah, we'll be working at it for the next few days. Don't you worry. So
we'll see you Saturday, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brent. Brent Roberts, State Line Showdown, Bedford, Iowa, this Saturday at 6 p.m. Gates open at 4. Get there early, get your seat, walk the pits. I've done that show. It's been a brush pull the last 3 years. I've announced that show. Always brings in big numbers as a brush pull even, so we're expecting really big things this year, being sanctioned with the Outlaws. So thanks, Brent Roberts, for coming on. And I want to go to my next guest here. Looks like we got a couple of guests here. Up in Beersford, South Dakota. Looks like they're in the trophy room there. Alan Andrews, the points champion with the John Deere from Beersford, South Dakota, the Dakota Deer. Alan, how's it going?
Good.
I see you've got Chadley there with you. Chad, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Ronald?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. So second year in a row to do back-to-back points championships. That's no easy task in that Super Farm class, Alan.
No, we had some good draws, and not everything went smooth this summer, but we got through it.
Yeah, that's one of those classes where you got to be on your A game, like week in and week out. You can't falter too much in that class.
No, they are too many good tractors. A lot of pullers that pay attention. I'll put it that way. You got to be ready to go.
And I'm glad you've got Chad on here. Because, I mean, he came pretty darn close, him and Brady, to beating you this year. They're 3 points out from winning it this year.
it got down to the kind of like maybe I'll help you, maybe I won't deal. In the end, it wasn't really we didn't want to win, but we didn't really know if the other guy wanted to win either. But
The Russ Dostal says, congrats to the Andrews family. Said, what a year for you guys. Oh, and somebody else watching here, Brady. He said he's here. He's watching.
Yeah.
So
I think he's babysitting right now.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you guys, the brothers, you guys do a good job, both of you, pulling. Must run in the blood there in the family or something.
I thought I was a good teacher, but that's just me.
So, do you guys have any sponsors or anything? Is it just all you guys just handle everything yourselves?
We've always just handled ourselves. We don't do much else.
Did you guys turn the black light on there or something, or what?
I don't know what it did.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, we changed colors.
Yeah, you guys turned purple. Dale Bartell said old age and treachery.
I'm not sure why the camera did
Shut
that.
the light off, Mom. Shut the light off.
What's in store for 2024? Anything different or just more of the same? You're going to tear it down and put it back the way it is, or anything different?
Well, you know how it is. We turn it back on. We don't see anybody. No, we got some ideas. We're going to try to run through them and see what happens. And you always got to keep going a little bit, or else they catch you. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Will we see you guys down at the banquet this year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, we got last year. We got to end up with we had some deer hunting lined up and hadn't done that for years. We used to hunt every year and kind of started doing it during the COVID years and kind of got hooked to it, and we got licenses. We thought, well, we'll just have to go hunting this year. Now this year we didn't get licenses, so we'll probably go ahead and go down there.
Yeah, just looking at shoot the top. I would say the top 5, but you might as well go on down to top 6 and 7 here in your class. I mean, anybody could win this thing. I mean, there's you, Alan, there's Chad and Brady. Then of course you have Red Rock, and those guys are super tough. Jared Johansson made some great strides this year. That tractor. He's doing. You told me a couple of years ago he was one to watch, and there he is moving up.
He can slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
if he wants to.
And of course,
I'll put it this way, I'm done answering questions now. He asks.
Oh, you're done giving him advice.
We gave him a little advice, and next thing you know, he was doing a little better. And I thought, that's enough of that. We're going to quit that. So he's going to figure it out on his own now.
Of course, Weisenkamp started out slow this year, but once he found his pace. He started getting some wins, and he ended up, 5th. Spanky's Toy, another good one. Mike Dunclaw in 7th this year. Rick Engelmeyer, that tractor's coming on pretty strong towards the end of the season, doing a lot better. There's just Wallman's 1066. There's another one towards the end of the season that really started picking up and laying down some nice passes. So.
Well, like the Wallman tractor, he didn't pull those a lot. And as he got into it, I think it just kind of drew to him. And he comes clear up to Madison and pulled. I think he had some family stuff on Sunday, or else he went out to Grand Island, but he couldn't get away. So nice to see guys come in that we're in the old Bush League and, come and pull us. That it helps our class out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good super farms in with the Outlaws pulling. If you look, there were 18 super farms signed up for points. They were members this year. So, and Austin Fluitt makes a good point. The Schmitz, the Cornhusker Cadillac, he didn't start the season until Wisner, but he came on pretty strong when he came back in there. So
he started early, but he broke something. I can't remember what it was, but they got it fixed and. The motor, something, because he had something wrong with the motor, and he waited for his motor for like 2 months.
Yeah, he said, he had told me, at Wisner that that was the first time they pulled it since Wisner last year. But
did he pull earlier?
No, he didn't make it to the.
Oh, he must not get his motor then.
No, it's just another hard tractor to beat once you add it in there.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, anybody can win on any night, it seems like. So
yeah,
can't miss a weight or a gear or a track position or anything in that class.
Jimmy Brackett got him a win Saturday night in Buckner. He says you guys are a good outlaw pulling family.
Yeah, good old buddy Jimmy. Yep. Yeah, I know it did the first night, but it didn't run very good down at wasn't Buckner, the other one, Unionville. And he go back, usually scratches his head a couple times, and he pulls something out of his hat, and there he goes. Made a really nice hook on Saturday.
Yeah, he had an awesome pass. It got me excited.
Yeah. I heard you announce. He's a freight train or something, I remember, right?
The rocket ship ride down the
rocket
track.
Ship, there you go.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, he made a really good pass on a tough track. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it was hooking. Did you guys watch the whole pull?
Yeah.
It was hooking a lot of people right in one spot there, and really bit Lane Paulson. I think he was on the break right at the time it hooked, and man, it was just bad timing, and really slung him over there.
Yeah, I know he'd come up and down. His front end was turned just a little, and all of a sudden he took a hard right glide, and I think the sled guy shut him off. I ain't sure, but he was headed pretty hard for that boundary.
Yeah, he gave the sled operator a pretty good ride there. That probably was pretty eerie feeling as hard as he threw him sideways too.
Do you imagine how fast that would be? Be like in of a slingshot, back skate ring, and he's about 50 feet back, then all of a sudden makes that be like on a carnival ride.
Marty Samuelson says, didn't Dakota Deer win Gibbon?
No.
Marty, I know Marty has the app. I don't know why he's asking that question. But, how many wins did you have this year?
5.
5 wins?
Yep.
And Chadley, how many for the Bruley Buck?
I think I had 3 and Brady had 1. So we had 9 wins altogether as a team.
Okay. Do you guys do the same things to both tractors? Are they set up exactly the same, or is there any difference?
No, there's several differences. I just ain't gonna tell you what they are, but they got different things in them. We learn off of what we're doing. The Bruley was kind of an experimental tractor a little bit, and then actually the Dakota Deer the last few years has had most of the new parts on it. And I don't know. Sometimes new was better because the Bruley seemed like it's pretty stout the last couple of years. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's like a test tractor. I mean, if something works really well on it, do you then incorporate that on the Dakota Deer?
Probably.
He says probably. I'm not asking you to give up any secrets here, Alan.
No, we had a program we run in since like 2016. We started with a different motor from Riverside, and you got to take hats off Riverside. He gives me good parts, and we put them all together here, and like Gary and Alan Ulmer and some of their philosophies, and we've been playing with since the last 10 years. We got in a program. We just kind of stick with it, and I got a good head guy, Harry's Heads. They make us good heads, and of course I think all Super Farm guys dang got a Harry's head on it of some kind. And we've been on a program. We've been sticking with it, and we're going to stick with it until we get it broke. And right now we don't think it's broke yet, so we're just going to stay with it.
Okay.
Do some different things than other people do, and it seems to be working at the moment. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. Adabaski commented congratulating you guys on your first and second place points runs this year. Weisenkamp early this season tried out those experimental Mitas tires. Did he sell those?
I think they were for sale. Yeah, I don't. He never said, but we talked about them the first poll we went to down in Iowa there, Cherokee. And I actually talked to my tire guy, and we talked about them, and we decided to go with the Pro Polars and put my old set on the other. The Bruley actually got my Pro Polars from last year because they seemed to work pretty well. And then I got another set, and we talked about the Midas tires, the Midas tires, how you want to say it, but I think they'd work if you played with them a little while.
Yeah.
But just nobody had run them in Super Farm, and so it's kind of out of the box learning. And
Right.
Well, about 4 or 5 good ass whoopings like he got. I think he had enough of that. Wasn't the tractor? The tractor ran fine. The tractor run great, but he couldn't get it to the ground at all. He was struggling.
Yeah. You know, we're trying to recreate the wheel. No pun intended, but going with a different tire. Yeah. Here's a good question from Robert Miner. I wonder if you guys would ever pull red.
I did.
You did.
1988.
1989. A friend of mine, when I got married in 85, he had a 1066. Actually, I ran with him for Paul Suggs, a guy's name from Beard, South Dakota. He had a 1066 or 1026 hydro with a 856 rear end and pulled on South Dakota back in the day, back in the early 80s. And I had a 4440. We ran out of the farm, and the dang block split on it. And we bought a 4650 with front wheel assist. Well, that's not a very good pulling tractor. But when he got married in 85, his tractor burned up in the field. And I let him use my 4640 to finish disking and planting that spring. And come 89, he let me drive his 1466. We actually won the points championship back then with a 1466. You can believe that. That's been a while ago.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Those are the stories we like to hear right there. It's some history there.
Well, he won I think he won the championship back in 80 or 81 when we pulled his 1026, and I was the pit crew then, and he was the driver. I was the track spotter and the weight guy, and he was the driver. And I think we won it back then. I can't remember exactly, but it was out of the field, South Dakota State pulling back then. It was with Gary Whiff and Almers and Klingbeils and Almers and Modified. I can't remember what was all in there, but that was a state group. Had the old had a Ford in there that pulled, old Casper, I think it was called. We bopped around the state and went from Aberdeen clear up to Rapid City to wherever they'd pull us at. That was back in, I believe, in 1980.
Wow. Yeah. So would you ever consider pulling another class? Are you happy? You content Super Farm?
We're happy here. You asked that question before. The main reason we had 26 hooks this summer. If we wouldn't have got a couple 3 rained out, Vanna and Mobile. But from our house, from the puller's house perspective in a Super Farm class, there probably ain't 2 guys that's got over a 3-hour drive in any one direction. Yeah. So we go these pulls. We're basically like we pulled we started in 92 in the Bush League. And all these we pulled last summer, I visited a bunch of towns that I hadn't pulled in for years. But that was the old Bush schedule, basically. Your Pierce, Waynes, what else we had? That was Bush, Lee, Nebraska. Yeah, all of them used to pull. One time used to pull Bush. Well, they went their way and we went ours, of course. Yeah. And now all of us have got a lot of them hooks, and we used to drive the pull and go home every night. We had chores and kids and all kinds of stuff to go home to. So we did all that, and we'd get home 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and go do chores and farm and jump into pickup trailer, back in the old days, and bind her down and away we'd go. Yeah. So that was so our schedule, even though we had a lot of hooks, we probably put on least miles of any class.
Yeah, you're in Super Farm country up there, that's it's kind of, when I first started with the Outlaws, Kurt told me that's Super Farm country up there, and and I get it now, making the schedule out, it's I pretty much know where some classes will go and where some won't, so it's a job putting that schedule together. I'll tell you, with what everybody wants and what the promoters want, and trying to make it all work. It's no easy task.
You have to get yourself a book and mark out where all the pullers live, and then to help themselves travel so far. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking at times trying to make it all work, and and of course going from one pull to the next, trying not to make them go too far from one pull to the next. But Greg Lucetto chiming in saying no pulls over 3 hours is almost unimaginable. But Greg, he lives in almost Colorado, so he's going to have to drive. So I don't.
Yeah, Yeah, he pulled back. We pulled Bush days. He had the little 460. We spent him, out in Havana and Grand Island. We didn't go to Grand Island and Lincoln, and they come to them. They always brought the 560, I believe it is, and come pull back in the light super. I was like 5,500 pounds back in them days. So yeah, I remember Greg from a long time ago.
Okay, here's a question from Russ Dostal. Where would your dream place to pull be? Where would your dream pull? I'm trying to word this. Where would your dream place to pull outside of outlaw territory be?
Been to most of them. We've been to Bowling Green, Louisville, Toma. You always hear about like Chapel Hill or something like that, someplace you've never been. The tractor's been down there and pulled in North Carolina before. During October, we was working in the field, and Leonard Paulson and his son and his family took the tractor and the truck and went down and pulled in the state fair at North Carolina one year. I don't know. Would you, Chad? I mean, I pulled about everywhere in the country so far. We've been north, south, east, and west, clear to Texas, to Ohio, to
Chapel Hill is about the only place we haven't pulled.
And a big name pull, we're talking about. Nothing against any of the rest of them. We pulled in indoors and in Shipshewana now, but back then it was in Gordyville.
Sure.
Pulled in Kansas City indoors, Louisville indoors,
Lincoln
indoors.
Yeah.
So we go about everywhere we wanted to go. Might be fun to go to Florida.
Yeah. There's a little bit pulling going on in Florida.
NFL stadium or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, they pulled the Houston Astrodome years ago and never got to go there, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if those days will ever come back. Those great big stadiums like that.
Right.
But, the 80s was a different time for pulling.
I know they talked about going down to Las Vegas a couple times, but that never materialized, didn't seem like.
Yeah, that dream's not over yet, Alan. Just saying. That Vegas.
You got to get it a little later in the year, though. You got to remember, a lot of us farm. It's getting pretty busy.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's.
Is that a full pull bets thing or?
No, that was
NCPA, ain't it?
No, that was a dream I had there of trying to make that happen, but I just.
Down at Las Vegas.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, everything in Vegas is really expensive. In putting on any kind of show, everything out there is really pricey. So, I looked at having it at the racetrack out there, and it was just crazy expensive. And the idea of having it downtown was a huge draw for me. I thought that would be cool for people in Vegas, because a lot of people, I'm sure the majority of the people there had probably never seen a pull before. And I think that alone would have drawn a lot of spectators to see what the heck's going on, what all that noise and smoke is going on over there, So.
It'd been a great venue if you did it in the right time of year.
Yeah. Well, guys, I won't keep you. Do you guys have anybody you want to thank before we call it a night?
Oh, basically the same, the family, for one, for putting up with all the stuff we do. My wife, she's sitting over in the quiet inside here, and like Riverside for doing all the stuff they do for us, and the Outlaws, they got a pretty good thing going here. They support us well, especially up in our area. They do a great job. Kurt got his hands full. We both got your hands full. It's a lot to do to keep it going. Yeah. So thank you guys all for having us come pull. We can, and we'll keep trying to put a couple more championships on the board if we can.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are coming to the banquet this year. Chad, I think we're going to have an arm wrestling competition. So I've been working out, buddy. I've been doing some curls. So I'm ready
for it.
I'm ready for it.
I'd like to thank my wife and the Outlaws and Andrew Meister and Almers and all those guys that have a part in it a little bit, helping us. And especially, and then you got to thank the fans for coming out to watch too, and engaging in Facebook and online and in the pits. And I think I handed out 100 some of those hero cards, the kids walking around this summer.
Awesome. That's awesome.
They like that stuff, and just keep people more involved. And make it more of a better community, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you guys for doing that too. That's awesome. The kids love that, and we've got a great fan base with the Outlaws too. So
it's pretty hard to beat. You put some kid in your tractor and he's smiling ear to ear, and mom and dad are taking pictures. And,
yeah,
wow, it's like they get pretty giddy on you. It's sometimes it's almost like dealing with a Walmart crowd, but it's still okay.
Hey, that's my people. That's my kind of people.
Yeah, rednecks. Here we go.
If I had some audio of Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze queued up, I'd play it for closing here with your screen color, or maybe Purple Rain. Alan Andrews, Chad Andrews, Brady's watching, one of the drivers of the Bruley Buck. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. Congratulations on another championship.
Yep. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. And there you go. Another night of Outlawed Live with Ron Stone. Remember this weekend, 6 p.m. on Saturday at Bedford, Iowa, the State Line Showdown. 9 classes, two tracks. Going to be an awesome show. Then on Sunday at the Clay County Fair in Spencer, Iowa, 2 sessions on Sunday. A lot of these points championships will be final there. Go to the Outlaw Pulling app to get those times. For those events, one is at, let's see, that's Bedford. 1 p.m. is the first session at Spencer on Sunday, and 5:30 p.m. is session 2 at Spencer. So make sure you come out and see us this weekend. Of course, if you can't be there, you can watch it live on Outlaw Pulling TV. So to see everyone out tonight, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of those who commented and asked questions and made comments. Somebody asked if I would be doing the national anthem at Spencer. That's a possibility. I'm not 100% sure, but that is a possibility. So thank you for tuning in. We'll play some highlights from Unionville and Buckner. We'll see you this weekend. And if you don't tune in this weekend, if you don't come out to the shows, we'll see you next Tuesday at 7 on Outlawed Live.
I think we might have a new leader. Here comes Mike Novinger, the Dominator there. Holy smokes. Flags, turn it loose. Got to beat 3:46.28. Brian Howe, the big temptation. Nice hook for Wyatt Robbins.
Including 5.56, you're good.
Comes Corey Roberts. Black on track, Peterbilt. Corey Roberts with a nice hook.
See that gentleman right there? He's wanting to throw some free hats out. So the crowd, I need you to get loud over there. He's getting ready to throw some free hats out. Over on that far side, you better get loud.
Wow, Buckner, Missouri, put your hands together. Jimmy Brackett on a rocket ship ride to Hillbilly Express. Keep moving on. And yes, she is moving on into the lead right there. Jamie Yockey going to take over the top spot. Than he was expecting. Here comes Chad Musial. And KCK straight forward. Nice hook for.
And I'll pop back in here one more time. Yes, Russ Dostal. I'm going to do those drawings. Last week's winner of the autographed Case IH Outlaw hat is Sherry Norris from La Vista, Nebraska. And then this week's winner of the Case IH hat, Case IH Outlaw hat, is Cody Roberts of Wayne, Nebraska. And then the Case IH banner autographed by all of our winners from Friday night in Unionville is Samantha Slagle of Central City, Nebraska. And the banner from Saturday night in Buckner is Miles Barth from Newton, Iowa. So those are your winners of the Outlaw Superfan contest brought to you by Case IH. Folks, remember to get entered in that contest. Go to the outlawpulling.com official website, and right there on the homepage you can get entered. I'm going to send 6 people with guests, with 1 guest each, to the Case IH Experience in Racine, Wisconsin. That drawing takes place on October 31st, right at the end of this, after the end of the season. So make sure you get signed up. Still time. Still some banners to give away and hats as well for this weekend and in Lufkin in October. So Ron Stone saying good night. Tune in next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time for Outlawed Live. Good night, everybody.